Welcome to a Song of Ice and Fire symposium. My name is Nav, and my pronouns are they, them.
And my name's Harmit, and my pronouns are she, her.
Not her, she?
No. As soon as I said it, I realized, no. My pronouns are Hershey, like the chocolate.
And this is a Game of Thrones, chapters 67 and 68. In these chapters, Sansa and Dany wake up from their dreams to find their lives have turned into nightmares. Wah. Welcome to the podcast, everyone. What'd you think of these chapters?
I hate to say that I enjoyed these chapters because they were
Why?
so awful. You know what I mean? I just
They're
feel
good
weird.
Chapters.
I know, that's what I mean. They were such good chapters. I really liked them. But I just feel weird saying that because nothing good happened in these chapters. Usually the chapters that I end up liking, something good happens. But these chapters, nothing good happened. I just liked the writing. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it's quite well done. Well, some good things happened, but we'll talk about them. So, actually, I want to, do a quick survey right now. I don't know how to better phrase that, but so I remember there were several chapters at the beginning when you were like, oh, I don't care what happens to these people. I mean, I'll read it because we're doing this, but I don't really care. What's your, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your level of interest in this series now?
That's a good question. What was it before? Did I say what it was before?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. I feel like 8.8.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And
I care about them, but if we stopped reading, I wouldn't be emotionally.
And you would go and read the books on your own?
I would, yeah, if we stopped doing this, I would go read them on my own.
Whereas before you would have just been like, whatever.
I would have just been okay, whatever. Yeah. I feel invested, but I don't feel, I feel invested, but I don't feel
attached. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a healthy attachment type.
Yeah. I feel invested, but externally invested. I don't feel like I'm in it just yet.
Okay. And on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate this book? On a
that's a good question.
Scale of good to bad.
I think this will change. I think this will change once I read it in its entirety.
Again, yeah.
Because it's been a year, so I'm just going to comment off of how I think the book is right now. Because I don't remember what happened ever. I think a solid 9.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
See, but I'm reading this after reading chapters that I really liked. So that is very,
but would you say that the chapters have consistently kind of gotten better?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Oh, definitely.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Survey completed. So why don't we do the summary? I should pull up a timer of some sort. No, where to go? Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1, Sansa.
Okay, we start the chapter. Sansa's grieving, dreaming, not in a good place, not great. Then, the entire chapter, she goes on to be physically and verbally abused by Joffrey, which is not great. She has to go attend, the court or whatever, and she sees Joffrey fucking up the entire kingdom. Once again, not great. She's having dreams about her dad. Not very fun. She has other dreams. What else happens?
Switch. Daenerys.
Daenerys. Daenerys sleeps for a long time, wakes up, has a bunch of dreams. What happens? Drogo is alive, but barely. her child is a monster and dead. She talks to Miri Mazdur, and they talk about, like, Miri's like, well, y'all killed my entire life. Like,
okay,
I owe nothing to you.
That's the minute.
That was a terrible summary. I, like, couldn't think of what happened.
That was a really terrible summary. It's always like, I was so interested in this chapter, and then you're like, dreams? Tears?
Okay,
Water?
whatever. Whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
I just suck at pinpointing. I just suck at pinpointing specific things.
That's fine. That's what we're gonna do now. So,
Yes.
Sansa.
Now that I opened my notes, I will be fine.
Yeah, you lead us, and I
Oh
shall.
my gosh. Before we start, I just want to point something out. I can't believe I didn't even think about this. Like, I'm so mad at all of these things where I, like, go back and think about what I predicted, and then the next chapter comes and I feel stupid.
You preface things too much. Just tell us what it is.
Anyway, so, you know the thing that Cersei said, like, in the Game of Thrones, you either win or you die?
Mm-hmm.
And Ned died. And I just didn't. I was like,
he's not gonna die. But at, like, first chapter, you're like, Ned's gonna die. And then when he's actually about to die, you're like, oh, he'll be fine.
Right. I was like, what? I don't know. I'm disappointed in myself every time I start a new chapter and I realize that I predicted nothing.
Oh, don't be disappointed in yourself. This is like an unfair process, and you're like the subject that we're experimenting on for our enjoyment.
Oh my gosh, that's
and
funny.
I'm sorry about that, but you're just so entertaining.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we start the chapter, and Sansa is in the room, and she's not in a good place. She's not eating. She's not really talking to any of the people coming in and out of her room, because, you know, she's grieving and she's feeling restless, and she has all this trauma, and it's not at all fun.
Yeah,
like, at all.
She's basically just replaying the scene of her her dad dying in her head over and over again, and she recalls like when it happened, and she wasn't able to look away, like, so she saw the moment when it happened, as opposed to when we were in Arya's head, we just like kind of heard about it.
And I guess in a way, like, that might, like, not help, but, like, be, like, just be less traumatic for Arya, like, just because she didn't have to see your
dad's head actually, like, fall off and tumble away, you know?
Yeah, like,
it's not funny, but that's what happened.
I know, yeah, the way you phrased it made it sound funny, like, tumble away, like a head tumbling away, but no, definitely not funny. Pretty awful, and it's like, it's resulting in, like, more nightmares, because then she has this dream where she's naked and Sir Ilan Payne is coming to kill her with ice. Yeah. And she's just, what I get from that is just, she just feels so unsafe and, like,
vulnerable, just
awful. She's not doing great.
No,
and then to top it off, our lovely friend Joffrey comes in.
Wait, hold on. I want to talk about stuff before. So she has, like, servants that come to, like, feed her and whatever, right? She mostly ignores them. And at one point, Pycelle comes in.
Okay, yeah.
And I swear to God, I have read this chapter at least a couple times before. And it says, he felt her brow, made her undress, and touched her all over while her bedmaid held her down. That's straight up sexual abuse. How did I miss it the first 2 or however many times? And also, what the hell, Pycelle?
Yeah, literally. Oh my gosh.
So there's, like, the trauma she's dealing with, like, the confinement and the, you know, physical abuse from Joffrey's people and the sexual, like, this is too much.
Literally. Oh. Like, what the heck? And all in the span of, like, I don't even know.
A few days.
Like, yeah, like that. What the fuck? What the heck is going on?
Yeah.
Poor Sansa. I
really feel for her.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's awful. And then freaking Joffrey comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hey, so you're gonna attend me in court today.
Yeah, she's like thinking about it, she's like, it was Joffrey who opened the door, the boy who had once been her prince.
I was like, period.
That's like our first indication of like, okay, she's on the up and up now.
Yes. It just sucks because like you see this. I think I said like before at one point, I was like, something really big is gonna happen, and we're gonna have this like jolt with Sansa, and I hate that it had to be this.
Yeah.
You know, like I hate that this had to happen, but like I guess like she's just been so sheltered that like it had to happen. Like not it had to happen, but like this had to happen for like such a big like jolt in perspective.
Yeah.
You know, something of this
magnitude,
like caliber had to happen. Yeah. And I just hate that. But at the same time, like for the story and like her character development, it's necessary.
Well,
and I'm like,
she could have like gone through this and like still like to cope with it, she could have just pretended that it wasn't the thing that it was. But instead, she chooses to like face it head on as it is. And that shows character development. So like,
yeah, for sure.
the event does add to her character development, but it's possible that it might not have had an effect, and it's at least like something is happening.
That's fair. That's true. Yeah, because I remember a few chapters ago we also talked about her having some character development before as well. So you're right, it's obviously not just this, but I do think it's part of it though, because it's just so big.
Yes, for sure. All I'm saying is that the event did trigger this, but it is possible that, like, knowing Sansa, the event could have happened and she still wouldn't have come to this conclusion. So
that's true.
Like, there's some work on her part that I want to acknowledge.
Yes. Good job, Sansa. Me pretending that she can hear me and she's here.
I just want to, like, pat her on the back and just be like...
I know. I just want to be like, you know what, Sansa? How old is she? Like 11?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's a baby.
Anyway.
Okay, so Joffrey comes in.
And he shows like no amount of
remorse
or empathy or even sympathy, like anything. He's just like, no, like, you're gonna attend me in court, and oh, you don't want to attend me in court? Well, I know I'm not supposed to hit my wife, but Sir Meryn can do it for me.
Yeah, like, his mom has taught him that... Hold on, what is it? It's not... Okay, hold on. My mother tells me that it isn't fitting that a king should strike his wife, and we know that that was the thing that Robert used to do. So Cersei has taught him that, but he's taken that to mean that he himself doesn't have to do it, as long as he can find a loophole and get somebody else to do it.
Yeah. That's...
Yeah.
Like, he literally witnessed his dad slapping his I was about to say his dad slapping his wife. His dad slapping... Or no, not his dad, but...
I don't think he witnessed that.
Was he?
No, I don't think he witnessed the slap, but arguments, like, all the time. Maybe in the past like, he witnessed it, but not the one we know of.
Yeah.
That was when Ned was in bed dying.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, hold on. Okay, Joffrey's there. He's got Sir Meryn, and Sandor Clegane is there. By the way, a reminder, Sir Meryn is also the dude that killed Syrio Forel. So, another reason to like him.
No.
Yeah.
That was him?
Yeah.
Sir Meryn...
Meryn Trant.
Whatever. Meryn Trant. I'm trying to think of some sort of like pun, but I can't.
Okay. Well,
I just
quite the tyrant, that Trant.
Oh my gosh. Sure. There we go.
So
and
okay, go ahead. You're such a mess today.
Okay, so they leave, and
no, wait, you're missing all the important stuff. They don't leave. Okay, first off, the Hound is there, and he's like, girl, just do what he's telling you. And he, like, pushes her toward her, like, closet to go get dressed. and it says almost gently. So there's like, he's being the kindest that she's experienced in a while to her right now.
Yeah.
So I thought that was worthy of note. And then at one point she's like, Joffrey, just let me go home. And Joffrey's like, no, you're here, you're gonna stay here and marry me. And Sansa says, I don't want to marry you. You chopped off my father's head. And that's the first time ever that we've heard from Sansa that she doesn't want to marry Joffrey. And I think it's significant that she's like saying it right to his face, and I love it.
Yes. I was like, never mind. I was about to say something, and then I lost my thought,
okay.
So now it's gone. But yeah, oh yeah, you said, oh yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. I don't know why I didn't write that down. But I know, when I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
On one side, I was like, yes, keep going. But then on the other side, I was like, oh, this
Save
is
yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then, like, after this point, she, like, actually looks up at him for the first time since he's entered the room. And she wonders how she could have ever thought him handsome. His lips were as soft and red as the worms you found after a rain, and his eyes were vain and cruel. I hate you, she whispered. And
that was like, iconic.
Soft and red. Oh, he has dreamy lips. No, he has worms for lips. Which I love.
Right? I love that. It's the same thing, but now she's just, it's like learning to see. She's learning to see now.
Oh yeah, like
real.
Arya. So yeah, and this is when Joffrey gets mad and gets Ser Meryn to hit Sansa, and she like blacks out for a second because it's this big dude slapping her, you know?
Yeah.
And then she's like, fine, I'll do as you command, my lord. And Joffrey's like, your grace. And she keeps doing this throughout the chapter, and I'm like, I really hope she's doing this on purpose, and I really think she is, because this is like her little revenge that she can get. Oh
yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh, yeah, because she literally, like, she has memorized all her courtesies. There's no way that she doesn't.
No, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah,
she's
I
doing
love
this
that
on purpose. And
sure.
then they leave. But before they leave, once more, the Hound stays back for just a second, and he's like, just give him what he wants. And Sansa's like, what does he want? Just tell me. And the Hound says, he wants you to smile and smell sweet and be his lady love. He wants to hear you recite all your pretty little words the way the Septa taught you. He wants you to love him and fear him. And
You know what's interesting about this is, like, that's what he wants, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, it's just so, like, he wants that, but then at the same time, he's gonna criticize her for being that. Like, later when he's like, oh, you're just so stupid.
Yeah.
That, you know, I'm like, you're... It's just so, it's just so realistic, and I hate it.
Yeah. It's like,
you know?
He wants her to love him and fear him, so...
Yeah,
he wants the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Both of which are terrible, but best of both terrible worlds.
Yes, exactly.
But anyway, so they leave. And then there's, like, people come in to, like, help her get ready. And she doesn't speak to them. She just, like, tells them what to do. And she recognizes that they're Lannister servants, not somebody that she can trust. So... good job, Sansa. I just want to point out all the smart things she's doing. Yeah. Because it's great. If you remember when we had Christina on our podcast eons ago, she mentioned slightly that Sansa gets, like, a little more, like, a little redeemed towards the end of the book.
Oh, she said that?
Yeah, and, like, this is...
I didn't remember that.
These are those signs, like, you know.
Oh, right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that's also why I really like this chapter. Just Sansa was iconic.
Well, we have been wanting her to be for so long.
Yes.
So...
And, yeah, and then she gets... Well, as she's getting ready, she's noticing, like, just, like, how much dirt and muck is on her.
Yeah, because she hasn't bathed so long. Since her dad died, so it's been a few days.
Yeah, and knowing Sansa, I'm sure she's never gone that long without bathing, so... And then Maren comes to get her, and she's kind of noting, she kind of, like, questions him a little bit. She's like, oh, are you gonna hit me if I don't listen to you? And she kind of realizes, she's like, he doesn't care about me.
Yeah, like, he doesn't like me, he doesn't hate me. I'm just, like, a thing to him.
Yeah. And I was like, and then she's kind of like, well, when I become the queen, I'm gonna do this. And I was kind of thinking about it, and I'm like,
she doesn't say that. That's what she could have said.
She thinks it, right?
Yeah, she's like,
yeah,
I could have, like, threatened him, but but then she remembers what the Hound told her, and she's just like, okay, fine, I'll come with you. And she's like, yeah, but you're no true knight, Sir Maren. Which, coming from Sansa, is like the worst insult that anybody can be insulted with, you know?
Yeah, for sure, because Sansa's so, like,
all about them knights.
Like, yeah, Sansa very much values knights.
Yeah, and she gets to the courtroom, and she's, like, up in the balcony, and Joffrey's sitting on the Iron Throne and dispensing what pleased him to call justice, as she states. And mostly he's bored. Like, he just lets people handle stuff, the small council mostly. But when he does, like, make a ruling, nobody can sway him, not even his mother. Yeah. So, I don't know what Cersei feels about that. What do you think?
Yeah. This entire thing, I was like, okay, it's literally called the King's Justice. Your purpose is to keep your kingdom at peace and happy and fulfilled. And people come to you to get those things.
But he's
and what you're giving them,
a sadistic psychopath. He doesn't care about anything.
You're literally like, okay. He's like, oh, okay, well, you guys are gonna duel, and I'm gonna watch.
Yeah,
you're gonna get your hands cut off.
Knights are like, hey, I own this plot of land, and the other dude's like, no, I own it. And he's like, well, clearly the only solution is to fight to the death, and whoever wins gets to keep all the land.
Yeah, and then there was a thief, and he's like, oh, chop their hands. And there's a singer. This one was funny.
Hold on, before the singer, there's a woman who's pleading for the head of a man that they executed for being a traitor. And he's like, well, if you loved him, then you must also be a traitor. So they take her into custody as well. And then comes
He's just ruining people's lives.
Yeah.
Like, he's not even... Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And then the singer comes in, and the singer's here because he had a song about the king. He had a song about the king fighting a boar.
And being killed by it.
And being killed by it. But it alludes to the boar actually being the queen.
Which is, we know, accurate.
Really which was really funny. And it just kind of made me reflect on, like, I don't know, like, their arts and culture and how it affects their world and, like, the people hearing these stories.
Well,
but it was so funny.
Yeah, well, Joffrey's quite merciful to this guy. He lets him keep either his fingers or his tongue. What would you choose if you were given the choice?
My fingers or my tongue?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think I
like talking too much to lose my tongue.
Yeah, I think I'd have to do tongue because
Wait, you would keep your tongue?
I would keep my tongue. Yeah, because I'm just not a hands-on person. Like, my strengths are, like, my brain and, like, talking and stuff. You know, like, if I just have my hands and I can't talk, like, I feel like I'm losing all my strengths,
As
you
the
know?
person who plays rugby, but okay.
I'm not good at rugby.
Fine. At least you play it. So, the one thing that is of note here is that Lord Slint, remember him?
Yes.
He's sitting at the council table, and every time Joffrey's like, kill him, he's like, yes, nodding in approval. And it says, Sansa stared at his ugly face, remembering how he had thrown her father for Sir Ilyn to behead, wishing she could hurt him, wishing that some hero would throw him down and cut off his head. And I was like, yes! Cut it off.
But in life, only monsters win.
Yeah, There's no heroes.
And it just made me so sad because, like, her entire life, you know, heroes, and it's just,
yeah,
just
she
so
was like such a
heart-wrenching.
tra la 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 la, and now she's such a cynic.
Yeah, and it just sucks. Vile people get what they want. It's just awful. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
And then, you know, after that, the hearing ends, and Joffrey shows up with his peeps once again, and Joffrey's like, they're talking, and Joffrey's like, let's go to this place, and they climb up.
Not let's go to this place. Come with me.
Right. Yes. I made it sound much kinder. So he's like, okay, we're leaving now, and Sansa realizes where they're going, and she's like, I don't want to go there, and he's like, do you want to be hit?
Before they even like get close to where they're going, and she realizes, he's like, so when are you gonna
give me a present?
No, not give me present, but like, when can I get you pregnant to this 11-year-old child? And she's like, I'll probably get my period in a couple of years. At this point, she's hoping she'll probably never get it, so she doesn't have to bear his kids. But
yeah,
like, oh, and then he's like, well, my mom thinks they'll be stupid because you're stupid. But if the first one is stupid, I'll chop off your head and find a smarter wife.
I
just like skip the first 2 steps and just go find another wife. But I also feel bad for that person. But you know what I mean.
Yeah. Joffrey is just fucking filthy and disgusting, and we do not appreciate this.
He's displayed
and
here in all his glory.
And it just annoys me so much. Like, it just annoys me so much. Like this is, we've had this conversation a few times, I think, but like, she is doing what she has been taught. If you are blaming somebody for doing what they've been taught to do, clearly what they've been taught, like, if you're saying that what they're doing is wrong, well, then don't teach them to do that thing in the first place. If you're saying that it's wrong to like passively agree with people and like all these different things, then why are you teaching these children to do that?
She's a girl and she's supposed to marry and just be agreeable.
I can't. Whatever.
Yeah, it's like this whole thing where parents, like, I know in my duties as the person that I work at the place where I work in my job, in other words.
That's funny.
I'm surrounded by a lot of parents, and there's this conversation we were having about how, like, they don't want their kids to be nice. They want their kids to, like, be defiant if it means standing up for themselves, you know? Because for so long, it's always like, respect your elders no matter how much they abuse you. You know, all of that.
Yeah.
And it's that same thing.
Yeah.
Sansa is unlearning how to be nice.
Yes. Queen Sansa. But except we don't want you to actually become queen. Because that would mean awful things for you.
Well, she could kill Joffrey and be like, I am the queen now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but
that's basically what Cersei did. So
True. But Cersei was also like, she'd have to like infiltrate her family and step by step like Cersei did.
Sure. Okay. So yes, and this is when they start like going up to the ramparts, and she's like, oh no, I don't want to, I can't. You can't make
I don't want
me.
to see. Yeah, I don't want to see people hung up. But then they get there, and Joffrey's like, well, this is your father's lovely head. And she's kind of thinking, and I really like this. She's like, he can't make me, like, he can make me look at the heads, but he can't make me see the heads. And I was like, yes. Yeah. Period.
This is a real moment of resilience that she's demonstrating. Look at me using fancy words.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, it was just a really nice moment. I was like, you know what? Yes, you can believe what you know is true and not submit to his stupidity. And
she, like, it says she looked at it calmly, not seeing it at all. It didn't even really look like Lord Eddard, she thought. It did not even look real. And then she's
Mhm.
like, how long do I have to look? Clearly not giving Joffrey the satisfaction that he's looking for. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, wait a second. I'm going to go show you your Septa's head. And she's like, yes,
Yeah.
well, I basically guessed that she was dead, so.
Yeah, and then he's like, oh, well, you know what? If you're not going to give me a gift for my birthday, I'll give you a gift. So I'm actually going to kill your brother and give you his head because I'm just such a great king. Because your brother captured my uncle and my mom was upset by that. And I can't let that happen. So, are you excited for that, Sansa? And it's just, I was just like,
no,
what the
but
heck, buddy?
Sansa's response, maybe my brother will give me your head. And I was like,
Yes. I was like, you know what, Rob, you better follow through. So
he's definitely a more capable person than Joffrey.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Literally in every single respect, much better. Yeah. But I wanted to ask you, do you remember when the Lan clan and the Baratheons were at Winterfell?
Yes.
So I remember that Bran and Tommen did like a little duel thing.
Yes.
Did Robb and Joffrey do that, or am I remembering that?
They did.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
What happened, like, in the duel thing?
It was like, Joffrey was like, I'm taller than you, look, ha 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 ha. And then all his, like, fellow Goonies were like, ha 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 ha. And I don't know, they fought. I don't know who won or lost. It was just like,
okay.
Oh, wait, wait, I remember what happened. They were fighting with wooden swords. And then Joffrey was like, bring me live steel. And that's when Sir Roderick was like, I'm putting a kibosh on this. Go home, kids.
So I guess they're going to resume that duel.
Potentially.
With a real live.
Who do you think will win?
Joffrey. No, I was trying to say Robb. I literally meant to say Robb. Is that a sign?
I don't know.
Is that
you
a sign? No, I literally... That's why I said it so nonchalantly, because I was trying to say Robb. I was like, oh yeah, Robb's gonna win. I'm trying to manifest that. But what came out of my mouth was Joffrey. I hate that. Okay, whatever. Yeah. Robb is going to win.
Okay.
That is it.
So they going... You think they're going to have this duel?
Yeah. I don't think
like,
they're going to have this
leave
duel
the city and, like, go...
I don't think they're going to have the duel as quick as Joffrey wants to, but I think that when they have the duel, Robb will win.
Okay. So, anyway, when Sansa's like, maybe Robb will give me your head, he gets mad again and gets Sir Meryn to hit her once again. And she's, like, bleeding and crying because, hello. And he's like, oh, you don't look pretty when you cry all the time. Why are you crying? Like,
the amount of freaking gaslighting this kid does is just...
Yeah. Sansa, like, she's like, fine, I will smile. And then as she, like, kind of does this, she notices that they're standing very close to the edge. And, she could just give him a little shove. And even if she fell, at least she would have taken him out, Yeah,
exactly.
And she's thinking about it. And just as she's about to potentially do something, the Hound kneels in front of her and between her and Joffrey and is like, here, wipe off your blood. And the moment's gone.
Ugh.
So do you think... Okay, I think the Hound did this on purpose. He noticed her, like, intentions and he was like, oh no, she's gonna get herself killed. What do you think?
I think so too. Just from the Hound's actions and just who we know the Hound as, I feel like I think it was intentional too.
Yeah. And do you think it was good that he stopped her, or would you rather that she have pushed Joffrey and then, like, died for it?
I don't know. I think, like, obviously I don't want Sansa to die, but at the same time I want Joffrey to die. So I want Joffrey to die. So I think maybe it's good
that he stopped her, because then it gives, like, Sansa an opportunity to actually have a storyline.
Yeah, and, like, live
her
life. Yeah, and maybe get some sort of good ending watch all the listeners be laughing because she doesn't get a good ending. But hopefully when she dies, because I feel like she's definitely going to die at some point. Hopefully she
Everybody's
dies.
gonna die.
Hopefully you either win or you die, girl. Come on.
Okay, so she's not gonna win, clearly.
I mean, imagine if she became like the whole reagent person or regent,
Like,
I don't know, whatever.
Why?
Anyway, I'm
she
on
could
a
just be
tangent.
queen. She doesn't have to be regent. But I don't like. How would she make that claim? Like, she's not related to
I don't know.
Robert or to the Targaryens. I don't. Okay, that's a thing.
We're on a tangent.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Is it good that she lived
I
to tell the
think-
tale?
I don't know, but I think as of this point, it's good.
Like, you're okay with it?
Yes, I'm okay with it. Yes.
All right, so that's that chapter. Maybe we should talk about predictions right now, because the chapters are kind of, different places in the world.
Yeah.
Any wrapping thoughts on the chapter?
I'm just gonna look at my notes. Oh, I just wanted to also mention, I think we skipped over it, but like when they're talking about Joffrey's great plan for the future, he's kind of talking about how Cersei disapproves of the plan. Cersei's like, no, your dad's brothers are gonna like
Take over the city
us.
if you leave.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's got 2 empty spikes saved for Stannis and Renly's head. It's
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
I was
Dude,
like, sir,
get another hobby.
No. Yeah, literally. I was like, what are you up to, buddy? Calm down.
Okay, so predictions. What's Sansa gonna be doing? Like, I didn't write down anything, so I'm just gonna...
What do you mean, what's she gonna be doing? I think she'll...
Like, is she going to... Okay, is she ever gonna get back to Winterfell? Is she ever gonna get out of this castle? Is she ever going to marry Joffrey? Is she ever gonna have his kids?
So Sansa is going to marry Joffrey.
Okay.
And, not in this book. I really don't think so. But Sansa is going to marry Joffrey. Actually, what if, like, something happened and, like, I don't know, something happened with, like, the duel with Robb, and then they were like, Sansa and Joffrey get married right now.
Like within the next few chapters? Like that right now?
No, not that right now, but, like, sooner than they anticipated.
Okay.
Because obviously they're not planning for marriage right now. But, okay, anyway, back to prediction. Sansa is going to be here in the castle.
Married to
She's gonna be
Joffrey
living-
eventually.
And she's gonna
Live
I
a
think she's
miserable
gonna-
life.
Sadly, probably. I'm trying to think of, like, what, like, things she could do, and I'm coming up blank. I'm like, what good, like, what things that she wants to do could she do?
Well, maybe once
she could,
she's
like, help her
queen, she
family.
could, like, do, like, backhanded revenge shit. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully. I think she'll try to... Okay, here's the prediction. She's gonna try and... obviously right now, like, she's grieving, like, very much grieving. But I think once she's kind of in a better mental headspace, which I hope that she's able to do despite all the abuse, but once she's in a better mental headspace, I think she'll be like, okay, I'm gonna try and, like, get their trust so then they won't suspect me anymore, and then she can, like you said, like, do stuff backhanded.
Okay. That's fair.
So, like, get their trust first and be like, oh my gosh, queen, it's okay if you think I'm stupid.
All right. Will Joffrey put up Stannis and Renly's heads up on those spikes?
I don't think so.
Okay.
He's not that, like, sir, you are not that powerful. Calm down. I hope.
Okay.
I mean, he does have the entire kingdom, but...
What about the Hound? Like, he's shown certain sympathies towards Sansa that I'm sure Joffrey won't be fond of. Like, how's that gonna develop?
I see. That's something that I'm interested to see too, because I feel like the Hound is gonna become Sansa's like I don't want
Guardian
to say
angel.
friend. Sure, guardian angel, like fairy godmother type person, I think
somebody
I think
please draw Sandor Clegane as a fairy godmother. Okay, continue.
Yeah, so I do think that's definitely going to develop, though. I feel like they just have, he literally shared with her stuff that he like doesn't talk to people about, and now he's like looking out for her a bit. So that's definitely going to develop. I think he's going to become her like confidant, and then eventually I hope that he helps her with her, traitor tasks.
Oh, like when she's taking her revenge on the sly.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Yeah, he's gonna help her, I think.
How's Cersei gonna deal with Joffrey going all willy-nilly and doing whatever he wants? And how is, like, Joffrey doing whatever he willy-nilly wants going to impact their, like, hold over the kingdom?
Yeah. I think Joffrey being the king is definitely gonna screw everybody over, including the Lannisters.
Yay!
Yeah, but at the expense of the entire kingdom.
No.
Oh my gosh, it's like those reaction buttons that you press.
Yeah.
So I think Cersei's gonna try very hard, and she's gonna be like, Joffrey, think about this. Joffrey's gonna be like, you're just a woman, I know better. Even though he's like literally half her age and has no experiences.
Half her age, her son, like child.
Yeah, but I mean,
okay.
No, but I just mean if he's trying to be like, oh, like
I'm wiser.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, you're not. You've literally, like, she been overthrew
living.
the king. Yeah, like, she overthrew the freaking king. And she's had a hand in this stuff for a long time now, because her dad's always been powerful, Like...
Right, okay.
Like, come on, Joffrey. So, anyway, it's gonna...
What's the
it's gonna
prediction
screw them
in there?
over. Okay, sorry. Cersei's plans are going to get ruined by Joffrey. Cersei's like, oh, we're gonna be safe here at the castle.
Maybe
Let's
Cersei
stay
will
here.
get mad and throw him off the ramparts.
Oh my gosh.
Wouldn't that be great?
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing, but that just would never happen. So Cersei's gonna do her darndest to convince Joffrey, and then they're gonna have to come to some sort of compromise. Like, it'll be like, oh, you won't take all your men because you need some for the safety of this place,
Oh, so like this is the compromise in the plate in like when he goes off to war and she lets him?
Yeah. Yes, because she has to.
Okay.
So the compromise is...
And while Joffrey takes like, I don't know, 50% of the army, is the city going to be safe?
No.
Okay.
No, I think...
Wow, I love these one-word answers.
Okay, I'm thinking. Okay, so Rob and our lovely friend Mr. Stannis,
who we have never met,
and Renly are going to team up, and they're going to attack. #attack. No, we're gonna have the thing where like Rob has to deal with Joffrey, and then they're gonna sneak attack.
Okay. Cool.
It's gonna be successful.
Okay, so they're gonna win over the city. And no more Lannisters then.
That is too optimistic to actually happen, but I want to keep that prediction, even though I know it's not gonna happen.
All right.
But I'm keeping with it.
Well, that's all I can think of right now. And we have been talking for like 50 minutes. We should move on to Daenerys.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so she's having a dream. And I want you to sum up this dream in the best way that you can, and then I will go in and point out in all the ways that you were wrong, which will be most of them.
Okay, well, whatever. Okay, so she's having this like dream sequence, and there's a red door very far away, and she's like, I have to get to the red door. And along the way, as she's traveling towards the red door, there's these like sequences.
Do you know what this red door is? I think you've forgotten.
The red keep?
No, this is like when she's back in Pentos. She thinks about living in a house with the red door in Bravos that had a lemon tree outside. With like Sir, what was his name? Willem Derry. And like it's the only real home she's ever known. So she's like running for home.
Wait, that's so much sadder than what I thought. Because in my mind, it was she's trying to capture the kingdom because that's Red Keep.
Right.
That's so much. But I guess it makes sense because this is like her dreams, like her deepest. I guess that makes sense. But that's so sad. Okay, but yeah, we talked about that once. Totally gone, of course.
I know, that was like a year ago.
Yeah.
It totally was.
Okay, so she's trying to get to this red door. And along the way, she's, she's seeing, I guess, all these things. Like, there's, like, all these people. Like, there's Rhaegar, there's I was going to say Drogo, there's Jorah, there's Viserys, there's her kid. I think she was going to name
Rhaego.
Rhaego.
Mm-hmm.
Rhaego, Drago, Pego. Anyway, so she sees all these people, and it's all this, like, the sequences are kind of, I can't tell you the exact sequences, but they're kind of like, for example, her son, like, she sees the son, and it's, like, her son's, like, a combination of, like, Drogo, and, like, he's, like, all ready, and, like, ready to go to war, but then he just, like, fades. So it's all these things, like, all these, like, I feel like all these, like, hopes that she had, and then they're all just kind of gone. They're like, okay, this isn't gonna work out. Okay. Like, you thought your brother was gonna do this. No, did not work out. But then she gets closer and closer to the door, and she's very close. And throughout the sequence, there's, like, a phrase, you don't want to wake the dragon, do you? And then it gets shortened and shortened and shortened. It goes to, don't want to wake the dragon. And then it's wake the dragon.
Want to wake the dragon. Wake the dragon.
Yeah.
Dragon.
And it's shortening and shortening. And I think that Dany is the dragon, and she's the last dragon. And so, like, I feel like the beginning is kind of like, because Viserys always, threatened her with this. It was, you don't want to wake the dragon, do you? Mm-hmm. But then, as the
she's like, who's the dragon
goes,
now?
Yeah. As the sequence goes, it's wake the dragon. It's like the dragon. Daenerys, like
yes,
Daenerys
okay.
is the dragon. Yes. And yeah.
Okay.
And oh my gosh, she flies, I think, somewhere. Didn't she fly? She flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, she flies, and it's this, like, moment.
All right. Now for the correct interpretation of this dream.
Whatever.
No, I'm just kidding. I'll give you like a solid 40%. You did pretty good.
Whatever.
Okay, compared to like other dreams you've interpreted where you didn't even remember they were a thing.
Okay, that was once. I feel like the rest of the time we've had
chapter.
Okay, whatever. But I feel like the rest of the dreams we've had, I've been fine. It was just that one time.
Okay.
But so, anyway, yes. I just think it's pretty much just, like, to sum that up, I think it's just like Daenerys is Daenerys's only hope. Like, she has to rely on herself, and she has the power within her to do what she wants to do. She's gonna freaking do it, because she's Daenerys freaking Stormborn.
That is correct. Okay, I've just bumped up your score to 60%. Okay.
Yay! Okay.
So, now to talk about the details, which is my forte.
Yeah, the details are what I suck at, so.
So, it says, first sentence, wings shadowed her fever dreams. And throughout this dream, she's, like, hearing the flapping of wings, the shadows of, like, these great wings, which I would assume are dragon's wings, because, like, what else would it be, right?
Yes.
And like you said, it starts with the phrase, you don't want to wake the dragon, do you? And then she's, like, walking down a hall. There's, obviously the red door at the end. And behind her, she feels, like, this darkness and coldness that's, like, following her, and she's trying to escape it. And she's, like, running towards, like, her home, And then in her memories, she, like, first she encounters Drogo, who's, like, holding her in his arms, and that's, like, a symbol of home for her. And then, like, the scene kind of melts away, and then Jorah's there talking about Rhaegar and how he was the last dragon. And then it says, want to wake the dragon, right? And then it, like, slowly evolves and evolves. Oh, and where she sees Jorah talking about Rhaegar, she also sees him, like, kneeling over a brazier with, like, dragon's eggs, I assume. Mm-hmm. So, like, all this dragon symbolism. And then what else happens? Oh, and then she feels like this heat inside of herself, and she feels like her womb, she calls it, like, okay, whatever, that's a word. Her womb. I just have problems with that word for reasons. So, yeah, she sees like she feels this burning inside her, and then her son Rhaego is in front of her, and he's like a combination of her appearance and Drogo's appearance, and he gets swallowed up by a fire as well, and she weeps for him, and then the tears on her eyes turn into steam as if she were like a burning dragon. And then she continues watching and watching, and like there's ghosts lining the hallway, and they're like, run faster, you are the last one of us. The ghosts are like all the past Targaryens, you know. And then when the red door is closer and closer, what else is it? Oh yeah, when she gets close to the door, she can like smell home and can see the green fields and the great stone houses and like all the things she's told about Westeros. Like she can sense them. And then she opens the door and it says the dragon. And beyond the door is her bro Rhaegar, who's wearing his like armor, and she remembers Jorah calling him the last dragon, and she lifts his visor, and inside it's her. So she is the last dragon.
Yes, she
so
is.
Basically you got all of it, but I just wanted to go into the detail.
You're just better at the detail.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. The point, the flying, she doesn't just fly, she sprouts wings and then flies above all the lands. So like she's symbolically and literally a dragon in this dream.
Yes.
Which is cool.
Badass Daenerys. Let's go.
So she wakes up and...
But I remember at the beginning of the book when we first met Catelyn, I don't know why, I don't even remember, because, you know, back then I didn't know anything, but I remember I remember hoping that, like, we were going to get, like, a female protagonist, and, like, who was going to, like, somehow lead, and I remember when I said that Eddard was going to die, I was like, oh, Catelyn's going to get a position of power, and I was excited for that, but now I feel like that wish that I had is kind of being fulfilled by Dany, because this entire thing is like, okay, like, you know what, you don't need that dude, you are going to do it. You are the last dragon, contrary to
all you need is
belief. You. Yes. And I really liked that. It was nice.
Yeah. It is nice.
But the sad part was when she woke up from the dream and she thinks it was only a dream. And that was annoying because I was like, no, it was not only a dream. It is you. It is who you are. Embrace it. But
yeah, but she's like not fully out of the dream yet, and like she notices her one of her handmaidens, and she's like, oh, get me, and then she like drifts back to sleep, and you know she's thinking like she needs something but she can't like put her finger on it. And so wait, what do you think this is? This something or someone that she needs?
I thought it was the dragon egg.
Okay, yeah. Yes, that's a fair thing. It could also be, like, her kid, potentially, or Drogo, but yeah, makes sense. And then she wakes up at one point, and they find her crawling towards her dragon's eggs on the carpet. So maybe it does point more to the eggs than to her kid, maybe.
And do you know?
Of course I know.
Okay, but some things you don't know. I'm like, oh, do you know? You're like, oh, I don't really know.
Well, it could also be both. Like, it doesn't have to be one or the other.
That's true. Yeah.
And then, like, they put her back to sleep, and, you know, she goes to sleep. That's what you do when somebody puts you to sleep. And this time she doesn't dream. And then eventually she wakes up. And she calls for her handmaidens. They come in, they bring her some water, and she's like, how long have I been sick? And the answer is long. Like, can you give like a week, a day, a month? Like, I don't know. Yeah. I just wanted to know how more specifically how long, but
yeah, that's true.
And then
I guess it's also just like long as just like so much has happened that they just maybe
it was like this ominous long, but
yeah,
I wanted
but like
specific long.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
And then eventually she tells them to bring her one of the dragon's eggs, and she snuggles up next to it. And what does it say? It was the pale one. Its scales the color of buttercream, veined with rolls of gold and bronze, and Dany could feel the heat of it. Beneath her bedskins, a fine sheen of precipitation covered her bare skin. Dragon dew, she thought. I'm like, what's dragon dew? But basically she like, curls up to it, and she, what does it say? Her fingers trailed lightly across the surface of the shell, tracing the wisps of gold and deep in the stone, she felt something twist and stretch in response. It did not frighten her. All her fear was gone, burned away.
Okay, I want to ask, were her dragons, like, well, they only have one tent, so I guess I know the answer to this, but I just want to make sure, like, was the tent where
they kept in the tent while she was doing her thing?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Like, it could have been... Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Because what if the magic, like, did something to the eggs, and the eggs are now, like... Like, what if... Oh my gosh. I want a sequence of Daenerys riding a freaking dragon into the air.
Okay. So, okay, the only thing, though, is when she wakes up the second time, she gets Jorah to, like, come over and feel the egg, and Jorah's like, it's just, like, cold stone. What are you talking about? So
okay, well, maybe I don't know.
I know you don't know, but but like maybe it's just something that she can sense, as she herself is a dragon,
Yes, exactly. Jorah's not a freaking dragon. Come on. Yeah. But then she eventually finds out that Drogo is...
before even Drogo, she finds out about her kiddo.
Oh yeah, her kiddo,
yeah, so she like wakes up and she's like, hey, where's my kid? And the handmaidens like kind of like scurry out, not wanting to answer the question. And they go get Jorah, who also doesn't want to answer the question. And then Mirri Mazdor's like, he was monstrous. Twisted, I drew him forth myself. He was scaled like a lizard, blind, with the stub of a tail and small leather wings like the wings of a bat. When I touched him, the flesh loud off his bone, and inside he was full of grey worms and the stink of corruption. He had been dead for years. What do you think of this?
That was gross.
Yeah.
I was not happy with the description, but I was kind of like, was he like he was dead for years. Like, does that mean he was in such condition that it was like, oh, like this, he's been dead for years?
Yeah, because he's got like grey worms and like corruption.
Okay, yeah. See, because I was like, is it that, or was it like, do they mean like, oh, it was like destined, like he was?
Oh no,
for
I
years
think
this has been
he
written.
Was so decomposed that it was
okay.
Like,
okay, cool.
I think that's what it means. And well, the description, it's almost like he was a dragon or something. No? Don't you think so?
I didn't pick up on that.
No, but it's like, it's scaled like a lizard.
Oh, yeah.
Got a tail and leather wings.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh. That's
But
cool.
like, Daenerys is human. I think, unless she's literally a dragon and can like...
I don't think she's literally a dragon.
Transform. Okay. We're going off. My brain's like, have I misunderstood the entire book series now?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and also when Miri's talking about this, Daenerys is like, okay, Jorah, he's a powerful man, yet the Magi is stronger and cruder and indefinitely more dangerous. She can tell, I don't know, somehow.
Yeah.
And when Miri Mazdur describes what came out of her, Daenerys is like, oh, it's the terrible darkness that was weeping after me. It got to my son. And then Miri Mazdur is like, oh no. Oh my gosh, sorry. This is what happens when I don't take notes. Maybe I do need to take notes.
No, it's okay.
So Dany's like, how could he be dead for years? I could feel him kicking inside me when, I was outside the tent. And Miri Mazdur's like, yeah, but you came into this room full of death, and these shadows cast grave long shadows. The grave cast long shadows. The shadows are death, okay? That's basically what she says. And Daenerys is like, okay, you told me that I could pay for my, what's his name? Drogo's life with the horse. And Miri Mazdur is like, yeah, I never said that. You just assumed that. Which is actually true. Like, she never in the last chapter is like, the horse will pay for his life. She's just like, only life can pay for death. Or no, only death can pay for life. And then she asked for the horse. Like, she never...
Yeah.
Like, it's just something that Daenerys assumes because she wants to,
Yeah.
And then Dany's like, yeah, this was a sucky price, though, because not only it wasn't just my kid, it was the horse, like, all the people that fought, the whole Khalasar. And then she's like, fine, show me what I bought with all this death. And that's when they take her to Drogo. You talk for a minute. Yeah,
so we get to Drogo, and I think he's like just like laying there or something, and then they...
Oh, before we get to Drogo, sorry to interrupt. She's looking around the camp, and most of the Khalasar has left. What's his name? Khal Pono has taken some of them, and then Khal Jocko has taken another half of them, and like some people just like rode off, and basically there's only like 100 people left around her as opposed to the hundreds of thousands.
And it's all the people who like couldn't go any further or are sworn to Daenerys.
Yeah, like they're sick or old or kids or sworn to Daenerys. And then she gets to Drogo.
Yeah. And we get to Drogo, and Drogo is just not... Drogo is alive in terms of breathing and like heart rate and stuff, I'm assuming, but he's just not like a person anymore, He kind of just like...
hold on. I want to interrupt once more. We're gonna have to start this again because I just saw something else. And while she's looking around the camp, somebody's like, oh, they also took the slaves. And she finds out that how would you say this?
Iroha,
yeah.
I think so.
One of the girls that she saved from getting raped and in the Lazarine village. They raped her repeatedly and then killed her. And she's like, these motherfuckers, they're gonna get what's coming to them. And somebody's like, yeah, but they've got like 20,000 riders and you have 5. Like, what's your plan here? And she's like,
I'm Daenerys, I will do what I need to.
Yeah, but no, she's like, I am Daenerys Stormborn, Daenerys of House Targaryen, of the blood of Aegon the Conqueror and Maegor the Cruel. And I'm like, do you want to be bragging about that? But anyway, and old Valyria before them. I am the dragon's daughter, and I swear to you, these men will die screaming. So my question to you, will they?
Yes, they will. I am choosing to believe in Dany.
So she's going to take her 5 people and she's going to hunt these people down.
No. I think that eventually, once she has some more people with her, then she can...
Okay.
I don't think it'll be like she's going to go and like hunt them right now and like go kill them. But I think
eventually, when
point,
when she's got the time to spare.
Yes, eventually she will do that.
So at this point, I promise, she gets to Drogo.
Yeah, so she gets to Drogo, and he's alive, like he's breathing, he has a heart rate, you know, he's alive in terms of the definition,
he's
but
a vegetable.
He's not really, he's not conscious at all. He's
I'm
not
vegetable.
aware.
Meat isn't any more alive than vegetables. Sorry. It's like such an offense to vegetables. Okay,
so yeah, she finds Drogo, and like it's okay, and he has to, like, if you want to feed him, you have to just like put the food into his mouth and like eventually
swallow or something.
Yeah, and it's not what we wanted. And I think at this point, I don't know if I'm interpreting it wrong, but like Dany's infertile now.
Apparently. So Mirri Maz Duur comes in and Dany's like, when's he gonna be like he used to be? And Mirri Maz Duur replies, when the sun rises in the west and sets in the east, when the seas go dry and mountains blow in the winds like leaves, when your womb quickens again and you bear a living child, then he will return and not before. So basically she's saying never, and in that she includes, you can't have kids anymore.
Interesting. I think Sansa would want that, but
right.
not Dany.
I mean, different, circumstances.
Yeah.
And then, so what do you think of this prophecy, first off? Because it is kind of like a prophecy, you know?
Like the prophecy that, like, when the...
Yeah, which is basically stating, never gonna happen.
But
do you trust, what I mean is, do you trust Mirri Maz Duur's word on the, he's never gonna come back, which I can say we trust, but also that you're never gonna have kids?
Oh, you know what? What if she had, like, I don't know, this is just, like, I don't know. Because I don't think she's... I don't think she's ever gonna have human kids.
Okay.
She could, like, her son turned into, like, a dragon.
Right.
Like,
so she'll give birth to dragons?
I don't think she's gonna... No. I don't think she's gonna give birth to dragons. But I'm saying that, like something like that could happen. Like, if she had another encounter with, like, a... Maggie?
Meiji.
Like, but, like, once again, I feel like that's, like, 0.00001% chance. So okay. I don't think she's gonna have kids, no.
So Mirri Maz Duur doesn't really have a reason to lie, so she's telling the truth.
Yeah.
To the best of her expertise.
Kids. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then, as they're kind of talking, Dany's like, okay, Jorah and y'all leave. I want to talk to Mirri. And then they're talking, and she's like, you didn't, this isn't what I wanted, you know? Like, this is unfair. Like,
why didn't you warn me what was going to happen?
Yeah, like, what is going on? And Mirri points out, like, the stallion won't burn any more cities now.
Y'all burned my temple. You angered my god. And she's like, I just made sure that it doesn't happen to other people now, since the stallion that mounts the world will no longer burn any cities.
Yeah, and it kind of made me think, like they haven't even gotten, like, even to, like, the ocean yet, right? And they called Drogo's Khalazar had already caused so much destruction, and they have been causing so much destruction for just so long. And we got to see it from, like, her perspective now, and it just kind of, like, that sucks. Like, they're just going around, like, raping women in other villages and, like, taking prisoners and ruining their entire communities. Like, okay. Yeah. So by the time they would have gotten to Westeros, like, think about how much
they would have left in their wake. Yeah, how much suffering. Yeah. But Daenerys is like, but I saved you. And Mirri is like, saved what? The dude I healed was killed. The temple I prayed at was killed. My baker was killed. Where am I supposed to get my bread? No, okay, she didn't say that. But, like, like, her entire life and community is ruined. Yeah. And then
Miri's like... Oh, sorry.
Oh, and then she's like, tell me again what you saved. And Daenerys says, I saved your life. And then Miri's like, look at your call and see what life is worth when all the rest is gone. And I was like, you got a point, though. You got a point. Like, I'm on Dany's side, but I also get Miri's side.
I definitely, I know what you mean. Like, originally, like, at the start of the chapter, I was like, what the heck? But then, like, as soon as they kind of started having this conversation, I was like, wait, you're right. And, yeah, pretty much Miri's kind of pointing out, like, yeah, like, the only thing you did was just, like, the only real result what you did had was, like, now you didn't have to feel guilty about seeing it and not doing anything.
You just, like, eased your conscience. You didn't actually help anyone. Which is fair. And, okay, now I want to bring up an interesting point. So, as usual, I was reading Race for the Iron Throne. I just love its political and historical analysis, which is, like, my jam. Okay. I like to eat it on my toast. People put jam on their toast.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
I am funny. And that is the story of this podcast. Okay. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So Stephen Atwell, he has a theory that Miri intentionally poisoned Drogo from the beginning. Because as he says, hold on, let me pull up the thing.
Gosh, that's
she
crazy.
had the means, the motive, and the opportunity to do all that. Like, if from the beginning, her, like, you know, she didn't change her mind halfway through and was like, I kind of liked you, but now I remembered all the terrible stuff you did, and now I'm gonna fuck you over.
Right.
From the beginning, she was plotting against them, and she had the means being that, like, poultice she prepared for his wound.
Yeah.
The motive, you know, like, ruining her life, and the opportunity, like, she was able to be like, hey, I volunteer to heal him, you know?
Yeah.
So before this, I kind of was like, oh, I think originally she wanted to help him, but, like, he himself fucked it over by not following her instructions. But now, listening to his argument, like Stephen Atwell's argument, I'm like, I think I agree with him.
You know what? That does make a lot of sense. Because otherwise, yeah, you're right. It would kind of be like when specifically did she decide? Or was she just, I guess if she didn't intentionally do it, maybe, like, when the events started happening, she's like, okay, this is what, like, the gods want, you know?
Yeah, but, like, if she hadn't done it from the beginning, how was she planning on getting revenge? Like, she needed to create a circumstance where Daenerys would give up her or her kid's life in exchange for Drogo's quote-unquote life, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, that's her revenge. So she needed to create that scenario, and the only way she could do it was by poisoning Drogo. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
This is something to think about.
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all listeners, get back to us. What do you think on this? Okay, sorry. You say stuff.
Oh my gosh. Then Dany takes Miri into captivity, and she's kind of like, oh,
I could have her killed easily if I wanted, but
if life was worthless, what was death? She kind of thinks that to herself, and I was like, dang, you're right. This is... Yeah, so she's kind of like, okay, this is...
Put it on the back burner for now. We'll come back to it.
I'm gonna go hang out with Drogo. And then she goes to spend the night with Drogo. And
she gets him cleaned up and everything.
Yeah.
And she takes him outside because everything of importance needs to be done under the open sky. And basically, she tries to sex him back to life. Is what happens.
Pretty much. She's like, this'll elicit a response.
Yeah, like, if this doesn't work, nothing will, basically. Yeah. And he does not respond. And as, like, dawn's breaking over the horizon, she's like, okay, well, see ya never. And then she goes and gets a cushion and smothers him to death. Yeah. Yay. In a way, this is so complicated because Drogo is not a good person, but Dany likes him.
Yeah. And Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, he bought her. Like, you know, he was an enslaver. And she kind of developed this, like, connection with him, and it ended up working out okay. Like, they seemed to kind of care about each other. But it like, you couldn't deny how their relationship started. Like,
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And just, you know, everything else that they're, like, literally everything else that Drogo leads and is part of.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's all a bit fucked up.
Yes.
So,
yes. And it kind of, I don't know, it kind of made me think, like, when I was thinking about, like, how much destruction they cause and everything, and I was kind of thinking about, like, the things that are fucked up about Westeros and the people who are suffering in Westeros versus, like, out here, like, all the Khalasars and stuff. And I was kind of trying to think about which one's worse, and I couldn't get to a conclusion. I was like, they both have, the entire world has fucked up things.
Yeah,
exactly. It was pretty much what I got to. I was like, yeah, this entire world's fucked up, just like the real world.
I'm so glad you're more openly swearing now, because it's about time. Okay, so you cannot survive these books without swearing. I don't know what that was. Okay, so do you think Drogo's actually dead for real this time?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's Daenerys' next move gonna be?
What were they gonna do at Ashai again? What were they gonna do?
No, they weren't going to Ashai. They were going to some place where they could buy ships and sail to Westeros. But now they don't have an army or money. So how's she gonna get to Westeros? Is she gonna get to Westeros? Does she still want to go to Westeros? Like,
that's true. I think she still wants to go to Westeros, because now I feel like now there's just so much sacrifice that she's made to try and get there that it's like she's gonna feel like, okay, like I'm in too deep, like this needs to be resolved, and like obviously like this is what she's spent her entire life wanting to do, so she's gonna still try to find a way. But like, is there a way? Like, does she have to go, like, I don't know, join another Khalasar? But like, that's not, can you do that? Can you just like go join another Khalasar?
Well, officially the Dothraki would want her back with the Dosh Khaleen, because she's a widowed Khaleesi now.
Would the other Khalasars know that?
I mean, she is like the only white lady among all these
that's
brown
fair.
people, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so she can't join another.
And like, if you prophesize, oh, this white lady's gonna give birth to the stallion who mounts the world, and she's married to Drogo, and then you find her with like Drogo's like remaining Khalasar, and you know, like, I think people can put that together, who she is.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so that's not gonna happen. Maybe she's gonna... Are there any cities nearby, or do they have to cross the ocean first? Because they're just so far, like, there's nothing there. You know, like, with Arya, when she escaped, like, there's a whole town there.
Okay, so let's see.
Like, I don't even know what's near... Oh, can I look at the map? Where is she?
It's not on the map.
Oh.
Because she's on a different continent.
The map is Westeros, right.
Yeah, so they're, like... So they started in Vice Dothrak, and they were going southwest. They're still like in the middle of like Dothraki territory. That's all I really know.
So they might still... Okay, they were gonna go to the place to like sell their slaves, right?
Yes.
What place was that?
Marine.
Okay. Could they still go there and like do something else? I don't know.
Maybe.
Because I just don't know. Like, I feel like they're just in the middle of nowhere. Like, what can they even do? Okay, you know what?
Okay, so her move is still gonna be like, let's gather all the strength we can and find a way out of this. Not like, I'm gonna huddle in that corner over there and gonna live out my life.
No.
Okay. That was what I wanted to know.
Okay.
What's gonna happen to Miri Mazdur?
She's gonna stay a prisoner, and then eventually I think she's gonna help Dany out with something.
Like, willingly? In
In
exchange for her freedom? Like, what?
Oh, yeah, because she was supposed to be... Oh, wait, she's supposed to be freed now, because she did what she was asked.
She did not do what she was asked. She
Was
did
it-
the
what-
opposite of what... The
What
deal
was she
was
asked?
to bring Drogo back to her. Like,
Oh,
she,
okay.
like... She did it technically, but not really.
Yeah, I guess. I guess this isn't like an
I don't
official...
think Daenerys is gonna be like, oh yeah, you brought him back, kind of, so it counts, so you're free.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so Miri's gonna stay with them for a bit, and then I think maybe she'll help them somehow. I don't know, well, maybe... See, because Miri still hates them. Like, if Miri, like, hated them a little bit less, maybe, like, Miri could, like, take them to... No, but her entire place has been destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they could go to, like, a nearby town that Miri knows people in. Or Jorah's like, hey, if we travel a little bit upward, this town comes up. So they're gonna go to a new town.
Okay, but that doesn't answer what happens to Miri.
Oh, okay. Miri stays a prisoner for a while.
Okay.
And travels with them.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when I said Drogo, Miri, Jorah, and Daenerys were gonna head off on their own?
Yeah.
I mean, 3 of them are
You
still
were
gonna head
like,
off on their own.
everybody's gonna be fine. It's just like her kid's gonna be cursed or something.
Well, her kid was a monster, so...
Fair enough. Okay. What about her dragon's eggs? Because they're kind of like precious. Like, is she gonna sell them? Is she gonna continue to draw like this like personal strength from them? What's gonna happen?
Yeah, she's gonna keep them with her for personal strength. She'll probably sleep with them.
And eventually she'll sprout wings and become a dragon?
She won't become a dragon. She will climb the dragon. Because
which
the dragon's
dragon?
eggs are real. The dragon's eggs are... This is like such a
So they're
random...
viable and there's gonna be dragons and then she's gonna climb a dragon.
Yes.
That's your storyline.
Yes. No, that's not actually gonna happen. Okay, so she's just gonna use the dragons as comfort, and they might lead to, like, more dreams and stuff.
Okay. So your other theory was that since the eggs were in the same tent as, like, Miri's magic thing, that they are now viable.
Yes.
And are like normal eggs and will
Yes.
eventually hatch.
Yes.
Okay. Which one do you like better? Or not like better, like which one do you believe more? Or
you know what? I like the dragon one better because it's more, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go with the dragon one. What do I have to lose?
all right. When are they gonna hatch?
Book 2.
Okay, we're like close to book 2. So you can't just be like,
okay.
you have to be like beginning of book 2, end
Okay.
of book 2.
End of book 2, they're gonna hatch, and it's gonna be our, like, cliffhanger.
Okay, cool. Well, that's
Also,
all
I
the
want to
questions.
know if this book ends on a cliffhanger. I think we're only, like, 60 pages from the end or something, so I guess I'll find out soon.
Will you? So,
Duh.
speaking of what's up next, let's talk about the upcoming chapters.
Woo, woo, woo.
We're reading 2.
Woo. Oh.
Give me your predictions and hopes.
Oh my gosh, we're definitely getting closer if we're only reading 2. Okay, predictions.
We read
and
2 this
hopes.
time.
I know, but it's just more real now.
Remember when you were like, I don't want to read 4 and I had to divide everything up into 2s?
Okay, so I would like to see Jon, and I would like to see
I always
Arya.
want to see Jon.
I
just
always want
saw
to see
Arya.
Arya too. Okay, no, we did not just see Arya.
Okay,
Or
fine.
Jon and Arya.
Well, you kind of get your wish. We're reading chapters 69 and 70 next time.
Mm-hmm.
And chapter 69 is Tyrion.
Mm-hmm. Wait, 1 second. Let me write that down. Okay, cool.
What are we gonna see from Tyrion?
Okay, last time we saw him, they just won a surprise, like, sneak attack.
Right. But, his brother was captured.
Yes. So now, I think he's gonna find out that his brother's captured. And they're gonna be like, okay, I think they're gonna...
I think since then, another significant event has occurred.
Oh, Eddard's been killed.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I guess in my mind, I'm like, oh, they don't care about that. Okay, yeah. So, they're gonna find out about everything at the same time. And they're gonna be like, what do we do? But Tyrion, they don't tell Tyrion anything. But Tyrion has dinner with them, so he's gonna find out anyway.
Okay.
So, Tyrion, okay, cool.
What's he gonna do about it?
They're gonna be traveling, northward? Are they going northward? I don't know. They're gonna be traveling. They're gonna go to River Run, to meet, because Rob's going there right now, because they're trying to, like, free their men, and Tyrion's gonna pick up on that, and Tyrion's gonna be like, not Tyrion, like, the Lannisters are gonna be like, okay, we need to go stop them from doing that.
Okay. Fine. Next up, we have Jon.
Yay! Okay, so Jon, what did Jon do last time? Oh, he got the sword. He was thinking about, he had to make a choice to leave or to stay or whatever, and I was like, oh, he's gonna stay. Oh, he's gonna find out that his alleged father is dead. He'll probably find out.
We're like accusing. We're so accusing about it. Anyway, continue.
So he's gonna find out that he's dead, and then I think he'll also find out about him being captured. I think he'll be hanging out. What's gonna happen? Maybe they get some news about Benjen.
Okay.
Just gonna throw that out there.
Alright then. That's everything. Email us popculturesymposium@gmail.com or follow us on Instagram at popculturesymposium, where I will be posting stuff on stories because I realized that it's easy and I can do it in 2 minutes. So that is how I decide whether or not to do something. Is it easy? Can I do it in 2 minutes? Yes, I will do it. Basically like updates and questions and polls and stuff if I can think of stuff. So yeah, until next time, farewell my friends.
Talk to you later.